All right, guys, we're going to stop on this page, okay? So look, there's a whole series of questions about this normal curve and the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. So what I'm going to do, instead of just talking through all 8 of these with you, I am going to do 4 of them. And you are going to do the other 4 for homework. That's what we're going to do. Ready? Okay, so I want to write up here 68, 95, 99.7. I want you to write that up at the top just so you kind of get used to it. All right. We're probably going to want to draw little baby normal curves for each one of these because once we start marking on this thing, when we go to do the second one, we're going to have marks and shades all over the picture and it's not going to work as well for us. Okay, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to write kind of small to fit in here, and I don't know how well you can see. Hopefully it works out okay. I'll write as big as I can. Okay, what's the probability that the student selected has a score between 85 and 115? Okay, well, you guys, 85 and 115, that's exactly 1 standard deviation away. This answer is 68%, right? But I want to go through a thought process with you, including notation. So all the way over here, I'm going to write probability that 85 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 115. I want you to write that down. This is how you show work for these kind of problems. Okay, so it's a probability question. They gave us some numbers. I want you to be able to write the notation. Now, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to draw the biggest normal curve I can in here just so you guys can see in there. Okay, so there's my mean. It's not perfectly symmetric, so I screwed it up a little bit. That's okay though, because we're just doing these sketches to help us out with something. Okay, so where is the 85? 85 is right here, so I'll just put a little dot on it maybe just to kind of help myself out. And 115 is right there. And I'm going to go up and I'm going to shade. And this one is so easy. It's 1 standard deviation that way, and it's 1 standard deviation that way. So these are all the values that are within 1 standard deviation. And so for that reason, this answer is 0.68 or 68%, however you would prefer to write that. Okay? I'm going to skip number 2, and I'm going to ask you guys to do number 2 for homework. What's the probability the student selected has a score between 55 and 145? So go over here and write it. Probability of 55 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 145. Okay, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to draw as big a normal curve as I can. You can draw them smaller if you want. I'm just trying to make sure you can see it on the video, just for your experience there. Now look, 55 is 1, 2, 3 standard deviations away. 1, 2, 3 standard deviations away. So we're talking all the way out there. But 145, is that 1, 2? That's also 3 standard deviations away. Okay, so I go 1, 2, 3 standard deviations this way. I go 3 standard deviations this way. That's got to be 99.7% right there, right? So this is the area I'm shading. In both directions, it's 3 standard deviations. In both directions. Well, that's easy. I just get to steal my answer, 0.997 or 99.7%. Now, I'm guessing you could figure this one out without even having to read it, but I'm going to skip number 4, and the rest of these won't be as simple, okay? Watch how this gets complicated. I'm going to go to number 5. What's the probability the student selects something between 55 and 130? So I'm going to go over here, and I'll go 55 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 130. Okay, I'm going to draw my normal curve as best I can. I got the mean there. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 standard deviations this way, 3 standard deviations that way. 55 is 1, 2, 3 standard deviations away. So I go 1, 2, 3, and I draw my little line up there. But 130 is not 3 standard deviations away. 130 is 1, 2 standard deviations away. 1, 2. Okay, so that's the area I'm looking for. I'm going to draw a line straight up from the mean, and look, that is 2 standard deviations, but that is 3 standard deviations. So look, if it was both of them 2 standard deviations, the answer is 95%. If it was both of them as 3 standard deviations, it's 99.7. So my answer is in between those two, right? Well, here's how I figure this out. I'm going to shade an area here. I'm going to shade the left side of that area. How much is that? That is 1/2 of 3 standard deviations away. 1/2 of 99.7. And then I'm going to put a plus sign. Because I've also got this shaded area over here. Well, that shaded area is 2 standard deviations away. That's 95%. So that is 1/2 of 95%. guys see how this goes? So now it's to the calculator. So let me get my La Calculadora out here, and I'm going to go 0.5 times 99.7. Then I'm going to add to that 0.5 times 95. I've got two different chunks of the normal curve, so find them separately and add them together. 97.37. So I'm going to say this is 0.9735, or 97.35%. And check what I said earlier. Isn't that in between these two, right? Okay, I'm doing one more, and then we're done for the day with notes, and your job is to do these 4 that I didn't do. Okay, I'm going to do number 7 here. What's the probability that a student has a score that's less than 100? Okay, probability that x is less than 100. With continuous random variables, less than and less than or equal to are going to mean the same thing, because each individual number is just one out of an infinite amount, and so it really doesn't affect the shaded area. Kind of think of it like the area of a line segment going straight up. Line segments don't have area. Rectangles have area. So my whole point is this: if I put a less than or equal to 100 with a continuous random variable, it means the same thing. Okay, let's draw the normal curve and try and figure out what I mean by less than 100. Well, there's my mean. That is all. This is too easy. This one's too easy. That's embarrassing. Less than 100, that's the mean. Okay, so, what do you suppose that, that area is that's less than the center of this thing? That's going to be 0.50. Which is 50%. So I left you guys apparently with some that are going to be somewhat difficult. So what I want you to do is just draw the normal curves, put your 3 spots, and think about what these mean, and shade where you need to shade, and do some thinking. I think that one's going to be easy. This one will probably be easy. You may find yourself struggling with this, but think through it a little bit. Give me an honest effort. I'm only giving you 4 problems, and one of them is easy. I mean, it's 95%. You don't even have to think about that one. Give me some thought. Give it a try. We will finish these notes tomorrow. Have a good day.